Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of Suhoor Bites, where we take a few moments each morning to reflect on the wisdom of the Qur'an. In these blessed moments before dawn, as we nourish our bodies for the day of fasting ahead, let us also feed our souls with the light of divine guidance. Each day we will reflect on a verse from the Qur'an, drawing inspiration and lessons to carry with us throughout the day. Today we will be looking at verse 125 of Surah An'am. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. فَمَنْ يُرِدِ اللَّهَ أَنْ يَهْدِيَهُ يَشْرَحْ صَدْرَهُ لِلْإِسْلَامِ وَمَنْ يُرِدْ أَنْ يُضِلَّهُ يَجْعَلْ صَدْرَهُ ضَيِّقًا هَرَجًا كَأَنَّمَا يَصَّعَّدُ فِي السَّمَاءِ. Whomever Allah desires to guide, He expands his heart to Islam, and whomever He desires to lead astray, He makes his heart narrow and straightened as if he were climbing to a height. This often leads to the question, if Allah chooses whom to guide, is it random? Or does it connect to our own efforts and willingness? To answer this, we need to understand that there are two broad categories of divine guidance. Primary guidance, which is universal, and Allah makes it accessible for everyone. It includes the teachings of the Qur'an, the example of the Prophet, and our innate moral compass, often referred to as the fitrah. This primary guidance is available to anyone willing to seek it and reflect upon it. Then there is the secondary guidance, a deeper level of guidance, which is offered when we actively respond to the first level. Once we show genuine sincerity in following the path Allah has revealed, He grants us extra clarity, reassurance, and a special opening of the heart that makes faith feel more rooted and comforting. Essentially, the secondary guidance expands our ability to understand, internalize, and implement more teachings of Islam. This takes us onto the concept of sharh as-sadr, Allah expanding a person's chest, meaning expanding a person's capacity. This concept also appears in other parts of the Qur'an as well. For example, in Surah Az-Zumar, verse 22, Allah says, أَفَمَنْ شَرَحَ صَدْرَهُ لِلْإِسْلَامِ فَهُوَ عَلَى نُورٍ مِّن رَبِّهِ. So is someone whose heart Allah has expanded to Islam, such that he follows a light from his Lord, like the one who rejects it? Here, Allah connects expansion of the chest directly to following a light from Him, or in other words, following His guidance. Also in Surah Al-Inshirah, verse 1, Allah says, أَلَمْ نَشْرَحْ لَكَ صَدْرَكَ. Did we not expand your heart for you? This is in reference to the capacity of a prophet's heart being expanded to be able to carry the weight of divine revelation and be able to deliver the message to everyone. Both references reinforce the understanding that sharh as-sadr, or expansion of the heart, is a divinely gifted state granted to those whom Allah wills, either because a person has taken steps to accept and act on Allah's guidance, or they have been tasked with a divine responsibility. Returning to our verse for today, فَمَنْ يُرِدِ اللَّهَ أَنْ يَهْدِيَهُ يَشْرَحْ صَدْرَهُ لِلْإِسْلَامِ. Whomever Allah desires to guide, He expands his heart for Islam. We can understand that our willingness to engage with Allah's primary guidance is critical, as it demonstrates that Allah giving you more guidance or withholding it is not a matter of random selection. It's connected to the choices we make and the actions we take. When we show Allah that we truly want to be guided through prayer, good deeds, and seeking knowledge, He in turn expands our heart and increases our capacity to absorb His guidance. On the other hand, if we remain dismissive or arrogant, our hearts will be at the wrong frequency and we will not receive the light Allah gifts to those who seek Him sincerely. How does this apply to our lives today? Well, we live in a time where access to Islamic resources is easier than ever. Translations of the Qur'an, lectures, learned individuals, books, and articles are all widely available in different formats. Yet not everyone feels inspired or guided by them. Why do you think that is? Because engaging with these resources requires sincerity and humility. If someone approaches Islamic teachings with an open heart, praying for understanding and striving to apply what they learn, Allah blesses them with deeper insights. However, if a person remains indifferent or belittles the guidance, even the clearest explanation may not penetrate the heart. There are a few things that we can do practically to ensure we receive, act on, and keep increasing in divine guidance. First, making dua for guidance. By regularly asking Allah to guide us and open our heart to His guidance, it signals that we genuinely desire His help. Second, we should act on what we already know. Instead of waiting until we've learned everything, begin practicing even the smallest teachings right away. For example, if you've just learned of some techniques to concentrate more in your salah, then implement it. Action upon knowledge, no matter how small, is a powerful catalyst for further enlightenment. Third, we should seek knowledge consistently. Dedicate some time to reading the Qur'an with reflection, attending beneficial talks, and consulting reliable scholars or teachers. Surround yourself with people who encourage you to remember Allah. It shows a genuine effort to learn about your faith. Fourth, we need to check our intentions regularly. Purifying our intentions keeps us aligned with Allah. Fifth, surround yourself with good company because the people around us will heavily influence our spiritual state. Try to be among those who remind you of Allah and encourage you to do good. One way to visualize this interplay between our effort and divine guidance is to consider how we cultivate any skill in life. If we show dedication in learning a new language by studying regularly, practicing with native speakers, and seeking mentorship, we would progress much faster than someone who remains passive. In a similar way, when Allah sees us attending circles of knowledge, actively performing acts of worship, and sincerely attempting to embody Islamic values, He blesses us with moments of realization where faith becomes more tangible and easier. Many of us experience turning points as instances where something clicked. This demonstrates how knowledge transitions from information to deep conviction. We should remember that guidance is not just about collecting information, it's about transformation. Knowledge will benefit us when it changes how we think, how we treat others, and how we worship. The verse for today, whomever Allah desires to guide, He expands his heart for Islam, shows the interplay between our efforts and Allah's mercy. By showing Him that we want guidance, He responds by granting us a greater capacity for faith.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. فمن يريد الله أن يهديه يشرح صدره للإسلام ومن يريد أن يضله يجعل صدره ضيقا حرجا كأنما يصعد في السماء كذلك يجعل الله الرجس على الذين لا يؤمنون.